You ever get that feeling like you're just kind of drift?
Yeah.
Not really sure what you should be aiming for?
Oh, yeah.
Our source material actually starts off acknowledging this, that feeling so many of us get, like we're just kind of lost at sea.
Definitely. I mean, who hasn't felt that way at some point, right?
Exactly. And that's what we're going to dive into today, how to build an action plan.
Oh.
Even when you don't have those like big, clear goals in sight.
Interesting.
It might sound a little strange. I mean, how do you plan when you don't even know what you're planning for, right?
Right.
But the source actually gives us a way to navigate this, sort of a roadmap.
Okay.
To start taking meaningful steps forward, even when things feel a little hazy.
And the cool thing is you don't need to have it all figured out right away to start making progress.
Right.
At least that's what our material highlights.
Yeah.
So our goal today is to pull out those practical steps for you, give you some tangible things you can start doing right away to kind of get that momentum going, even if that big vision is still developing.
Perfect. So where do we start? Well, the first step might actually be the most relieving. You just got to accept that it's totally fine to not have those crystal clear goals right now.
I think that's such a crucial starting point.
Yeah.
You know, we're constantly bombarded with this message of achievement.
Oh, yeah. Like goals, goals, goals.
Exactly. Like you got to be constantly striving for something big. And our source points this out too. This pressure, it can be a lot, especially when you don't have that defined something yet.
And it makes you feel like you're falling behind.
Exactly.
Because everywhere you look, it's like 5-year plans and career moves and the next big challenge. And you're over here like, what am I doing this weekend?
Right.
But our source really flips this on its head, saying that not having specific goals right now isn't laziness or failure.
Yeah.
It's just a natural phase of exploration.
Totally.
I love that.
It's not about what you're lacking. It's about the potential that's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing it as a deficit, you see it as an opportunity to explore without being limited by some predefined goal. Yeah. The source even compares it to seasons. Like life has seasons.
Oh, like that?
Times for outward growth and then times for rest and reflection. Maybe this is one of those times for you, a time to reflect.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And this advice to just be present, you know, to trust that clarity will come without forcing it.
Yeah.
I feel like that could take a huge weight off someone's shoulders.
Definitely. You have to be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be open to what comes next instead of trying to force a path before you're really ready.
So we're giving ourselves permission to just be. But we also want to start moving forward somehow, right?
Yeah.
Step 2 is all about action, but in a way that's actually manageable.
Okay.
Focusing on small daily habits instead of getting overwhelmed by those huge long-term goals.
So this is where things start to get a little more concrete. The source emphasizes that you don't need a 5-year plan to start making positive changes.
Okay.
It's about shifting your attention from the what to the how,
Okay.
the small things you do every day,
I see.
consistently.
So what kind of things are we talking about?
Well, they give some really helpful prompts, like what small actions could boost your physical and mental well-being,
Okay.
or what activities actually bring you joy, even without some big purpose. And I love this one. What's one tiny thing you could do today that would make you feel even just 1% better?
That's such a good one.
Right. Because it feels achievable.
Yeah.
It's not about these massive leaps. It's about the power of doing something small consistently.
So like what are some examples?
Well, think about it. 15 minutes of exercise each day.
Okay.
Reading for fun. Not for work or anything, just pure pleasure.
Yeah.
Journaling, maybe. Or spending time on a hobby you actually enjoy.
Right.
These might seem small, but they actually build structure. And that's what our source points out too. It's laying the foundation.
Exactly. And it also taps into something called behavioral activation.
Okay.
Where even small actions can create this positive feedback loop. You start to feel more competent, more in control. And that can actually motivate you to take bigger steps later on.
And those small successes, they create momentum, right?
Yeah.
And that can eventually lead to more inspiration, a clearer sense of direction.
It's like you're building a runway even if you don't know where the plane is going to take off yet.
I love that analogy.
You're creating the right environment for clarity to emerge naturally.
All right, so we're focusing on the small daily actions. What's next?
Well, step 3 is all about trying new things.
Okay.
Without overthinking it too much.
Okay.
Because our source material points out that when you're feeling lost, doing the same things over and over isn't going to help.
That's like the definition of insanity.
Right, pretty much. But it's so easy to stay in our comfort zones.
Oh, yeah.
Even when they're not really serving us anymore. Right. So what's the alternative?
Well, the source encourages us to just experiment.
Okay.
Take a class on something that interests you. Learn a new skill. Maybe go on a short trip. Volunteer for something you care about. Just step a little bit outside of what's normal for you.
And the key is to do it without overthinking it, right?
Exactly.
You don't have to analyze whether this new experience fits into some grand life plan.
Right. It's not about finding your ultimate purpose overnight.
Yeah.
It's about trying things out and seeing what clicks.
I love that quote from the source. Clarity often follows action rather than preceding it.
So true.
You don't have to wait for the perfect plan to start exploring.
We often feel like we need to have it all mapped out before we take the first step.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes just doing something, engaging with new situations, that's what helps us see the path forward.
So we're actively seeking out new things. Now, step 4 takes us inward again.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to what really interests you, even if those interests seem small or insignificant.
This is all about listening to your gut.
Yeah.
Because even when you don't have a big goal, there are probably things that grab your attention.
Right.
Things that spark a little joy or curiosity. Our source says to acknowledge those moments.
And they give us some really thought-provoking questions to ask ourselves.
Like what?
Like, what kind of content are you drawn to?
Okay.
What conversations really get you fired up? When do you feel genuinely enthusiastic?
They're like little clues.
Right. Little breadcrumbs leading us somewhere.
And the source makes a good point. Sometimes the things we enjoy most don't feel like real goals.
Because they come naturally to us.
Exactly. But those little sparks of interest, they can actually tell us a lot about what we might want to explore further.
It's like giving yourself permission to enjoy things just because you enjoy them.
Yeah.
You don't have to justify them as being productive or goal-oriented.
Right.
And that idea of keeping a list of things that make you feel alive, I think that's such a powerful exercise. Because you might start to see a pattern in those seemingly random interests.
And that could point you in a new direction.
So we're paying attention to those sparks. Step 5 gives us a way to channel that energy without feeling overwhelmed.
How so?
It's about setting short-term intentions instead of long-term goals.
That makes sense. Long-term goals can feel daunting when you're not even sure what direction you're heading in.
Exactly. Short-term intentions are much more manageable.
Right.
Less pressure.
So it's not about hitting a specific target.
Right.
It's more like a gentle nudge in a certain direction.
I like that. A gentle nudge.
Yeah.
So instead of like lose 10 pounds, it's more like explore healthier eating options this week.
Exactly. Without any judgment.
And the source gives some great examples.
Like what?
So instead of figure out my entire career path, which feels huge,
Yeah.
you might say, for the next 3 months, I'll explore different career fields that sound interesting.
Okay.
Or this week, I'll reach out to someone whose work I admire.
Those feel much less intimidating. Right.
And they allow you to make progress without needing to have everything figured out.
The source emphasizes this too.
Yeah. Short-term intentions give you a sense of accomplishment with each small step. And those small wins build your confidence and keep the momentum going.
It's like dipping your toe in the water before jumping in head first.
Exactly. A low-stakes way to experiment.
So we're setting these short-term intentions. Step 6 takes us to our surroundings.
Okay.
It's about surrounding ourselves with inspiration.
Intentionally.
Yes. Because when you're feeling lost, the people you're around, the ideas you're exposed to, they can really affect you.
So the source suggests that we actively seek out things that uplift and inspire us.
Right. And they give specific examples like listening to podcasts.
Oh, look at that.
Watching videos about personal growth or topics you're curious about. Reading thought-provoking books. Talking to people who are passionate about what they do. Following inspiring creators online.
Basically filling your world with positivity. Exactly. It's about feeding your mind with possibilities.
And even if you don't have a specific goal in mind, being exposed to new ideas can spark something within you.
It can help you discover what resonates with you.
Yeah.
Maybe even reveal paths you hadn't considered before.
It's like creating an environment where inspiration can flourish.
Right. You're just soaking it all in and eventually something clicks.
Exactly. You're setting the stage for new ideas and motivations to take root.
Okay, so we're filling our lives with inspiration. And finally, step 7 brings it all together.
All right. What is it?
Trusting the process and just continuing to move forward, even when it feels uncertain.
This is where patience and self-compassion come in.
Big time.
Because the Source reminds us that you don't have to have all the answers right now. Life is a journey with ups and downs, twists and turns.
And periods of clarity and periods of uncertainty.
Exactly. And that feeling of being lost, it's not forever.
Yeah.
It's temporary. The key is to keep moving, keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing.
That's what will ultimately lead to clarity.
Right. It's about focusing on the progress you are making, even if it seems small.
And celebrating those small wins. Trusting your instincts and recognizing that every step you take matters.
Every step is moving you towards a greater sense of purpose and direction.
So to sum it all up, if you're feeling like you're navigating without a map, remember it's totally normal. You can create an action plan even without those big, clear goals. By focusing on small habits, trying new things, paying attention to your interests, setting short-term intentions, surrounding yourself with inspiration, and most importantly, trusting the process.
That pretty much sums up the final thoughts section of our source material.
It does. It's about taking action without feeling like you need a perfect blueprint for your life.
I like that.
So for you listening right now, what's one small thing you can do today to bring a little more clarity into your life? Maybe it's trying a new recipe.
Listening to a different genre of music. Or just spending 5 minutes thinking about what really makes you feel alive.
That first small step is often the most important.
It sets the wheels in motion. And just remember, clarity and purpose aren't destinations. They emerge along the way as you continue to take action and trust your own inner compass.
Well said.
So keep exploring and keep moving forward. You got this.